Yeah, special
right.
Tic Tacs guy. Love that sign. All right, and we are up now. So down at the 6 o'clock position on Metalopolis, we have our green Zerg player from Team Rain. That is SLush. Give a cheer if you want him to make a comeback.
And over here, in close air positions at the 9 o'clock position, is our Protoss player, White Raw.
I think we have some White Raw fans out there.
I think so, man. Both of these guys have some pretty significant fan bases in the audience. It's pretty cool to see people coming out, supporting their teams, supporting their players. Love that stuff, man. So SLush is going to be able to find his opponent pretty quickly with that Overlord heading across the middle of the map there.
Yeah, very much so. You know, both these players were sitting backstage right next to each other watching the Puma and Hero matches along with the rest of us as well. It's actually a cute little circle of people with them, Stefano and MC and Mr. Che. And
well, it's great to see. That's that's one of the things I love about StarCraft 2 is that the players, they will compete with all their hearts in the booths, but when they're outside of the booths, when they're outside of the game, these guys are all like buddies. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pylon being placed on the low ground as well for White Raw, so we'll see some form of an early expansion. Already, wanting to put that wall over towards that eventual nexus.
Yep, the Pylon and the supply depot down at that ramp coexisting in peace. It's nice.
So cute. And this probe, it's trying to harass these drones a little bit. It already picked up minerals, so it's not going to be able to deny mining, so it's just going to try and get in there and pick off a drone if it can.
Oh!
Aww.
SLush does get the surround. That drone got owned. That wasn't a drone, it was a probe. Oh,
yes.
My little rhyme didn't even work.
Aww.
Sad. The gas finishes now for SLush. He's going to send those Zerglings in there right away. He's going to be going for a Speedling expand this game, it looks like. The safest way to expand in ZVP, do that early Expo, I think.
Yep,
Meanwhile,
certainly.
the Overlord checking out the supply depot, sees the forge, knows what's going on here.
And there is going to be a cannon coming up here momentarily.
Yep.
But, SLush, on the other hand, if he decides to send out his links pretty quickly, especially before that Nexus gets put down, may have a little opening where he can try and sneak some through and send them right into the main. Yeah,
absolutely. And the Overlord's just going to kind of watch everything go on. He sees the Nexus go down. He's going to go back to the Zerg base at some point, maybe stop at the Martini Bar on Metalopolis along the way. You're just going to float down. They have like a special drive-through or fly through the Martini Bar for Overlords, They're just like, and they hand him the drink. And
Overlord should not drink and fly.
That's very true. Don't drink and fly if you're Overlords. Message for all you Zergs out there.
And we do have Zergling speed coming up, just being started at the moment, but 4 Lings are on the way. They'll try and poke into White Raw's base. We do have 1 Photon Cannon on the way, a second actually being constructed as well. So White Raw should remain pretty well defended against any sort of a Ling run by.
Yeah, I think so. He's already setting things in position here. That Overlord, man. Oh, never mind. You're watching a probe.
I am
running for its life. That's much more dramatic. But there's the Overlord. He is really hanging out in the space for quite a while. He's just like, I like it here. I think I'm going to stick around for a little bit. Yeah.
Guys. Gateway being added to the mix as well, so White Raw going to start building in that wall now here in a second. Let's take a look now. SLush has just thrown down his hatchery. That's about a third of the way done, so it's going to take a while, and immediately going into a Roach Warren even more before that second hatchery comes up.
Yeah, very interesting. Really early Roach Warren there. Oh, the probe does get back to White Raw's base, safe and sound. He's fine. Nobody needs to worry about that. Oh, he's immediately going out again. Wow, this probe is brave. Oh, no, he's turning around. I guess he had second thoughts. He's like, I have a wife and probelets at home.
He has much hatred for that probe.
I don't want anything to happen to me.
We have potential for just an all-out Roach Rush here in a second. SLush is starting to build Lings again, and Roach Warren's actually going to finish up just before the hatchery does, and we may just see a...
We may see a hatchery cancel, actually, is what we might see here. There's 4 Roaches on the way right now. The Roach Ling all-in was so popular and so powerful, especially in Korea, about 3 or 4 months ago. So that's something that we still see once in a while. Looks like the hatchery did finish, so it won't be any sort of crazy all-in from SLush, just producing a couple Roaches to get out there, maybe put a little pressure on, and mostly stay safe, really.
It may not be explicitly an all-in because there are 2 hatcheries up, but he's already behind by 12 workers. He really wants to do economic damage now.
He's not really making any drones. That's true. This is more or less all in right now. He's going to need to do damage. If he doesn't do damage with this, he's going to be extremely far behind.
And it looks like he's making his way across the map. A bunch of Lings are flooding in behind this as well. Those Roaches going to check the Zell. No, I'm sorry. They're actually going to run past. The rally point was in kind of a weird spot across the ramp there, but he is going to make his way up, lead with a few of those Lings to draw fire, and there's really not all that much up for White Raw.
Yeah, White Raw actually has no idea this is coming. This is going to be huge right now. Look at that. Only 1 cannon and 1 Zealot at the front to defend White Raw. He's got 1 more cannon back by the natural nexus. But other than that, not a lot of defense. Here comes the Roaches. A force field is not enough to stop them from hitting that cannon.
Oh no! And White Raw,
he
has
the
to have some
Zerglings get
defense.
past.
No! The Zealot is going to get surrounded. A bunch of probes are being pulled off the line. Don't forget the White Raw does have a significant economic advantage, so he can sacrifice a few, but
yes,
there's just way too many Lings.
Yeah, there's a lot of Lings. There's Lings in the main. The probes are handling them, but White Raw is losing some probes. The Forge goes down, and these Roaches are doing a lot of damage right now, focusing down that Stalker, and looks like there will be 2 cannons that will actually end up finishing. So Slush's attack, well, I don't know.
The Roaches have already gotten
in.
into the main. The Roaches have gotten into the main.
Roaches are in the main.
The probes are trying to send their way down to the natural, where they can see all these photon cannons, but this Nexus is going to fall.
Well, we are actually moving into a very interesting situation here because White Raw is just going to actually lose his main, but SLush won't really be able to have enough to break the natural right now. So it's going to be kind of a weird game, but either way, it's not good for White Raw.
Yeah, SLush is still way behind in workers, but of course White Raw doesn't have any sort of a standing army, so SLush can actually just sit on that for a while and drone up endlessly off of 2 bases.
Yep, that's right. He can get that economy back in action, even though it was a little bit hurt by not making drones for so long. Yeah, he's already at 21 drones to 30 probes, so he's
7 more coming out
fine.
at the same time as well.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to need to cancel that gateway, it looks like.
Yep, well, yeah, I think so.
Look at that, pulling the Zerglings back so that they don't take any damage from the cannon. Really well done.
Yeah, certainly. And that gateway's actually just about to finish. Cancel it. Last second. Last second. Cancel, please.
Oh, no, he doesn't. He's just going to let the gateway finish and lose it. Wow. I guess it gives the Zerglings something to do here. Keeps them occupied, you know.
Yeah, those Roaches are not really going to be able to swing their way out of here. They may be able to pick off some units from the high ground, though. They could actually reach this pylon down here at the bottom left, start hitting a couple of probes.
And the thing is White Raw, you know, he keeps sending that Stalker up into the main. He keeps trying to bait the units of SLush down to the natural where he can handle them, because as it is now, White Raw just has no chance of retaking that main right now.
Yeah, but White Raw's being pretty effective with the Stalkers nonetheless. He's killing just a couple of Lings at a time, making sure that one Roach falls here and there, so he's actually doing quite a bit of damage, at least as effective as he can.
Yeah, he's not really letting them take anything besides shield damage. He's gradually building up a force that can handle this. Still needs to be a little bit careful. He's still certainly behind here. He's got, you know, it doesn't really matter how many probes he has right now because he's mining so inefficiently from that one base as well.
And let's take a look down to the bottom right-hand corner as SLush is putting up another hatchery. So he's going to be on 3 base very quickly here as he pulled ahead in workers. Yes, by 5, has a larger standing army as well. And has he moved up to layer tech? No, not
nope,
quite
he's starting
yet.
to get gas now. I've got a feeling once he hits 100 gas, we're probably going to see the layer go down for Rain SLush. But I'm really curious to see how White Raw is going to try to handle it. Looks like he's just going to basically try to 4-gate right now. He does have 4 gateways out. A lot of that, there's a wall here. He did re-expand to his main. Yeah, he's just going to kind of sit tight for now.
Yeah, and that's going to work out pretty well for him. He still does have a highly defensive position in front of his base. I mean, there's just one tiny little choke where units can come through and he'll have enough Stalkers to sit behind, but he's actually going to double expand, sending another Nexus up to the top left-hand corner.
Oh, I like it. When you're in this position, you need to take risks. White Raw knows that. He knows that if he didn't do this, he's just going to lose, because SLush is just going to expand as much as he wants, max out much faster, and just come and kill what he's got. So White Raw is saying, the only chance I have right now is to take this big risk, expand twice, and, you know, if SLush doesn't scout correctly, he might be able to make it work.
And let's take a look now as SLush is on all 3 of his bases. Layer tech is well underway. Still going to be a while before that finishes and we see any sort of a tech switch pop up, but still in a pretty good spot, especially, is he going to catch wind of the 3rd expansion?
Oh, he does, yep. Yeah, good Zerg like SLush will, of course, do some scouting with this type of situation. I'm sure he's been in it before, so that Zergling used its life to bring lots of good information to the Overmind.
Yeah, he's well aware of both bases at the moment, so he's sending a big amount of Zerglings here along the right-hand side. Double gateways coming up, just 1 photon cannon, a handful of sentries.
There are, good force fields from White Raw. I was going to say there are 4 sentries there, so he's going to be able to hold that off for quite a while. Another gateway going down as well. Now it's only 1 force field that he's going to need.
Yep.
It's going to help as well.
Very much so. We do have double evolution chambers coming up for SLush, but no other tech structures being thrown down at the moment. Imagine we'll see some Roach upgrades if he doesn't decide to throw down a tech structure soon.
Yeah, may even decide to just go for a 4th as well. I mean, it's kind of time to take that advantage, expand a lot. He's going to be spending a lot of resources on upgrades here in the near future, though. Roach speed on the way. Spire immediately started after the lair. And melee attack and carapace level 1 as well for SLush.
Yeah, certainly, and that Spire's going to be pretty effective because White-Ra has nothing in his main whatsoever. He doesn't have a ton of defense, and he's so spread out at the moment that units are going to be able to jump back and forth and actually kill quite a few probes.
Very true, too. I mean, he's still spending every mineral. As soon as he gets it, he's not going to be able to be in a position where he can just warp in 4 Stalkers in case a couple of mutas come in to try to harass either. So, I mean, White-Ra just on a razor's edge right now.
And here's that 4th base we were talking about coming up over at the 2 o'clock position. So
good
SLush
decision
is going to be on 4 base very, very soon, and that's probably not going to get picked up unless, of course, we see Warp Prism make its way all the way up and around the side.
Yeah, well, it's a good decision to put it there instead of just in the next natural location, just to make it, you know, that much harder for White-Ra to kind of scout everything correctly. That's a lot of lings by that Xel'Naga Tower as well.
Yeah, it really is. Unfortunately, they're not really going to be able to bust their way through.
Nope.
That's walled off pretty well, adding to the fact there's photon cannons and units behind, along with sentries accumulating energy. That attack would be doomed to fail.
Twilight Council going up for White-Ra as well.
Oh, wow, 15 mutas at the same time there for SLush. So we had a lot of banked resources and using them very effectively on all of those air units.
He was saving up. I mean, look at the supplies right now, though. Only 137 to 102 for White-Ra. He has done a fantastic job of just macroing so efficiently after that rough start to kind of catch up to SLush. But, you know, honestly, now that SLush is on 4 bases especially, he's going to max out so quickly, and White-Ra, you know, is again going to fall behind here. He does get the Observer in the main to see the mutas come out, so he's going to at least have a little bit of time to respond to this. Yeah,
and the Colossus switch coming quite late as Rogue Bay is only coming up now, and SLush is going to be pretty well prepared as soon as he gets these forces in here and does a little bit of scouting. Oh, wow, actually those Stalkers were a little out of position there, and that allows the mutas to run through the main scot-free. They don't get any kills, of course, but none of them did fall.
Oh, Guardian Shield going up, and SLush's mutas just being very, very careful. This is what, you know, you can really enjoy about watching SLush's play. He's so careful with those mutalisks. Not a lot of Zerg players have that amount of control to kind of keep them alive consistently, keep the damage low on them. Really cool to see.
And let's see here, SLush is approaching max at the moment. Another 8 mutas being added to the mix. It's going to give him 25 altogether. He is actually going to have a quite scary Air Force and just pure upgraded lings behind that.
And look at that. White-Ra again in position with those Stalkers just in time. A true master of the game here. But here comes SLush. This is the big attack. He's going to try to break White-Ra's 3rd base right here.
And let's see if he actually gets a chance to do that. Robo Bay has not been utilized yet, so no Colossi up there. Beautiful surround on most of the units. The sentries going down without using any of their energy.
Yeah, the force fields just did not prevent those links from getting in soon enough, and White-Ra's in huge trouble right now. All the Stalkers getting surrounded. GG! And we have got ourselves a tied match. Rain SLush taking game 2.
Yeah, that means we are going to have the rubber match here in just a second, and what a beautiful play. Very, very aware of the map as well. SLush was from point A to point B. Picked up on that expand, knew he was going to be able to break it. That little roach push was so great. Such good decision making out of him.
White-Ra does tend to play very economic. You know, he counts on his unit control early in the game, doesn't count on having, you know, a lot of units to defend those early types of things. Usually tries to get by with 1 cannon, and SLush really capitalized on that this time.
And it looks like White-Ra is going to go ahead and pick Tal'Dorei Malter. Once he uses a map, maybe he can navigate the warp prisms around the outside.
Your map gets a little bit more time to kind of chill out a little bit.
Certainly, certainly. Could force it into a big, long macro game if he wants to.
Yeah.
And looks like we're all getting queued up here and ready to go in just a second.
Look at those camera shots. They really get the best camera shots here, don't they?
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, big shout out to the cameramen here that are working. We really appreciate their work.
They're smiling. They hear you guys cheering.
The production crew has been fantastic this entire week.
Absolutely. I mean, especially with kind of the technical glitches we had early on. You know, some stuff like trucks running into utility poles and cutting off the internet to New Jersey. I mean, the way that the production staff here has handled all that, they've done a great job. I know you guys just cheered for the cameramen, but can you cheer for the production staff in general, please? Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys. They deserve it.
Yeah, it was actually really fun. You and I actually went out and saw the actual vehicle that was killing esports.
We did, yeah.
We went and we live reported on the scene, so if they make VODs of that, that would be really awesome because we were actually out there and looking at all the power lines and fiber lines laying on the ground.
I know, yeah, and make sure you guys also check out those Prime streams. That's what our live cast was on there. It's only $7. I mean, you get so much more. You get the player view. You guys get the player view because you're right here, but you guys at home, want to see the player view? It's pretty cool.
If you had Prime, you would have seen us live reporting the accident scene as well. So
see Lonnie running around, saving esports. Sumi doing the same thing as well on the other streams. It's so cool. You see like the camera guy and the guy behind him with the backpack transmitting everything. And then our interviewers, Lonnie and Sumi, running around, getting the information that you guys want to see out there in the live stream. So definitely give Prime a try. It's pretty cool stuff.
And our players are ready. We're ready as casters. So are the fans ready?
All right, let's get this game started then.
Okay,
go.
We're just waiting on everyone to go ahead and get started. There we are. The countdown has begun. We're going to move into the rubber match of Rain Slush and White Raw.